There's something deeply satisfying about watching a car company learn from its mistakes. The original Proton X50, launched during the chaos of 2020, was ambitious but flawed, a car that showed immense promise while leaving you wondering what could have been. Now, 5 years later, Proton has unveiled what they're calling the all-new X50, and honestly, this feels less like a facelift and more like redemption. I've spent considerable time with this updated X50, and what strikes me most isn't any single dramatic change, but rather how Proton has addressed nearly every criticism leveled at the original. It's as if they compiled a list of every automotive journalist complaints, every owner forum discussion, and every service center feedback form, then methodically worked through each point. The result is a car that finally lives up to the potential we all saw in that original 2020 model. The most obvious change hits you the moment you turn the key, or rather, press the start button. The new 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine doesn't just replace the old 3-cylinder unit. It transforms the entire driving experience. Where the original felt like it was perpetually catching its breath, this new engine breathes freely. The 181 horsepower and 290 newton-meters of torque aren't just numbers on a specification sheet. They translate into genuine confidence on the road. Merging onto highways no longer requires strategic planning. Overtaking doesn't demand dropping 2 gears and hoping for the best. The engine delivers power with a linearity that makes daily driving genuinely pleasurable. It's not trying to be a sports car. Proton isn't fooling anyone there, but it's finally the kind of engine you don't have to make excuses for. In Malaysian traffic conditions, where stop-and-go situations can stretch for kilometers, this improved refinement and response makes a tangible difference to your stress levels. The interior transformation is equally dramatic, centered around that massive 14.6-inch infotainment screen that dominates the dashboard. Now, I'll be honest, I'm generally skeptical of these tablet-style displays that seem designed more for Instagram photos than actual usability. But Proton has done something clever here. They've recognized that in 2025, your car needs to be an extension of your digital ecosystem, not just a mechanical device that happens to have some screens. The wireless CarPlay integration works seamlessly, connecting automatically as you settle into the driver's seat. The interface is responsive, the graphics are crisp, and most importantly, the system doesn't fight you when you're trying to accomplish simple tasks like changing radio stations or adjusting navigation routes. Too many manufacturers treat infotainment systems like complex computer programs that require training courses. Proton has kept things intuitive, which sounds basic but is surprisingly rare in this segment. Physical controls for climate and essential functions remain accessible, showing that Proton hasn't fallen into the trap of digitizing everything just because they can. The steering wheel controls are logically arranged, and the overall ergonomics demonstrate genuine consideration for how people actually interact with their cars during daily use. The enhanced Level 2 ADAS suite represents perhaps the most significant leap forward in terms of real-world practicality. These systems, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assistance, automatic emergency braking, and blind spot monitoring, aren't just safety features, they're stress reducers. Driving in modern Malaysian traffic conditions can be exhausting, with aggressive lane changes, unpredictable speeds, and generally chaotic behavior being the norm rather than the exception. Having systems that help maintain following distances, keep you centered in your lane during long highway stretches, and provide subtle warnings about potential hazards doesn't make you a lazy driver. It makes you a more relaxed and ultimately safer one. The implementation feels mature, not intrusive. The systems assist without taking over, which is exactly the balance you want from driver assistance technology. What's particularly impressive is how these various improvements work together to create a cohesive experience. The more powerful engine means the adaptive cruise control can maintain speeds more naturally. The improved infotainment system means you're not fumbling with controls when a lane-keeping system provides gentle steering inputs. Everything feels integrated rather than bolted on as an afterthought. The suspension tuning has also received attention, and while the changes might seem subtle on paper, they're immediately noticeable on the road. The ride quality strikes a better balance between comfort and control, handling Malaysia's diverse road surfaces with more composure. Whether you're navigating poorly maintained urban streets or cruising on smooth highways, the X50 now feels more settled and confident. Build quality improvements are evident throughout the cabin, with materials that look and feel more premium than the price point might suggest. Panel gaps are consistent. Switchgear operates with satisfying precision, and the overall fit and finish demonstrates the kind of attention to detail that builds long-term owner satisfaction. These aren't glamorous improvements, but they're the kind that matter when you're living with a car every day for years. The pricing strategy deserves discussion because it reveals Proton's broader market understanding. By keeping the X50 competitively positioned, while significantly upgrading the content and capability, they're making a statement about their long-term commitment to this segment. They're not trying to move upmarket. They're trying to own the segment they're already in by offering genuinely superior value. This approach makes sense in the current Malaysian automotive landscape, where Chinese brands are pushing technology forward rapidly and established Japanese and European brands maintain strong reputations for reliability. Proton's response isn't to chase the latest trends or try to compete on prestige. It's to deliver genuine substance at accessible prices. The 2025 X50 represents something more significant than just a successful product update. It demonstrates that Proton has developed the institutional capability to listen, learn, and improve systematically. The original X50 succeeded despite its limitations. This updated version succeeds because of its strengths. 5 years ago, buying a Proton required a certain leap of faith, a belief that Malaysian engineering could compete globally if given the chance. Today, that faith feels justified. The 2025 X50 isn't asking for your consideration based on patriotic sentiment or price advantages alone. It's earning consideration based on merit, which is exactly where any automotive brand needs to be for long-term success. This is the X50 that Proton should have built from the beginning, but perhaps they needed those 5 years of market feedback, technological development, and manufacturing refinement to get here. Sometimes the journey matters as much as the destination, and this updated X50 feels like both a worthy destination and a promising foundation for whatever comes next for Malaysian automotive engineering.